I got loyalty, got royalty inside my DNA. I got war peace, got war and peace inside my DNA. I got power, poison, pain, and joy inside my DNA. I got royalty inside my DNA.
Quick warning, this video has opinions, a lot of opinions that might offend you, a lot of opinions you might agree with. Just letting you know beforehand, and let's begin. So, yeah, I've experienced a few rush endings in my time. I usually kind of end up, like, you know, catching up to a series way after it ends, slightly spoiling myself to like what is going on, then rewatching it, etc., etc. And I experienced a lot of rush endings that I just want to talk about and share and get your opinions on. Some that are very controversial, some that are very popular. So let's begin here. So one of the first ones I have to say is Toriko. Toriko was a great manga. A lot of people are not going to agree with that. It is what it is there. But the ending was just so rushed. It left so much to be like explored, but I guess because Toriko lost a lot of popularity, it'll never get explored again, and just kind of really sucks that kind of happened. And I wish they'll bring Toriko back, but like the way they handle some of the best characters, them just kind of getting killed off near the end, was kind of like, you know, whatever, I guess. Next up is Game of Thrones. The whole world kind of agrees with this point. Jon Snow's whole heritage, him being the chosen one, I get it, subvert expectations, etc., etc. But sometimes just because you can see it coming doesn't mean it's the decision that you shouldn't do. Jon Snow should have killed the Frost King, or, you know, the King of the Dead. He should have done that. Even though if the book said, like, you know, Jon Snow's gonna do something different, the show and the books are completely different things after like season 7. Like, it's like the same thing with drama, super manga, and anime. Like they have a similar story, but the execution is different. And they should have had the dragon queen. She shouldn't have ever killed all those people just because, boom, it's time for me to be evil now. It just so bothersome how terrible this thing ended, with just Bran being like, I'm the king now, and like leaving kind of room for him like manipulating everything. But Jon Snow just ends up in the same place he was multiple seasons ago, loses all his swag. Like, Jon Snow was my favorite character, but he literally became my queen for like the majority of the last arc. And honestly, just bad execution. Just oh my gosh, just so many bad moves just to we want to avert expectations the entire time. Bad storytelling, in my opinion. Next up is Samurai Jack. Now, a lot of people are not going to agree with me on this one, but I honestly feel Samurai Jack's last season was amazing until like the last 3 episodes. They rushed the romance between Samurai Jack and like his girl. I forgot her name at this point. I think it's like, I don't know. I forgot her name, but they rushed that romance a little bit near the end. And the fact that, I get it, the opening is like Samurai Jack must go back to the past, but the fact they didn't go with the idea that he would have known if he killed like a coup in the past that it was going to kill his girl, because that's his dad, that's her dad. And the fact that he never thought about that, and they do like a weird like a little ending there where it's just like a copy of a previous anime. I forgot the name. Gurren Lagann. There we go. They do just like a Gurren Lagann ending. It's just whack to me. It's just really whack. And then Samurai Jack is just left again to suffer. Like, again, it's not a bad thing to have a bittersweet ending, but only when it's earned. And Samurai Jack erased everyone he's ever known in the future. And when his whole point was to save the future. Like, of course he wants to go back to the past, but they should have went through the character development of Samurai Jack accepting that this is his new life now and being happy with his new life and his friends. But the fact that he destroys an entire like timeline just to save his own is kind of selfish to me. And then the fact that his girl doesn't get evaporated instantly just so they can have a fake Gurren Lagann ending. Nah, I really don't think that was a good ending, in my opinion. And a lot of people, there's a lot of YouTubers who had this exact same opinion, but they always get dislike bombed. And I remember I even made my review talking about how I didn't like the ending, and I got overwhelmed by the people who kept on telling me, it's the opening song, bro. He's supposed to go back to the past. You don't get it. Nah, nigga, I get it. It's trash, in my opinion. Like, it was a great season until like those last 3 episodes. Rush romance. and just a rush ending with that made no sense in my opinion. The Akame got killed anime. Now the manga, it ends kind of similar, but there's a lot more development. A lot of key characters don't die, but it's gonna be hard to remember these characters. I remember a few, but like you have Akame, you got SDef, and I forgot the main character's name. But the anime just kind of gives the main character like a golden armor power up, and kind of has him kind of die just, you know, unceremonially, which is kind of part of the show. But near the last few episodes, people just kept dying and dying just because. Like it was like before, like it was like on some prime like bad Game of Thrones type deaths, where just people just dying left and right. And they had the SDef versus Akame fight, but like it was just like Akame became too OP near the end, and just like her power up was kind of like random. Like in the manga, it was kind of executed better, but Akame got killed one of those animes where like they kind of felt like we don't need a season 2, and they just started to kill everyone off near the end, which was really crazy to me. Like again, Akame got killed was known for like the kills and instant kills, but that was pretty bad in my opinion. Next up is Bleach, and we're not going to talk about the anime because the anime is finally coming back, which is cool. But Bleach is still one of my favorite animes and like manga franchises of all time. But it lost a lot of popularity in Japan. I still don't know the reason. I think because it peaked in the Ronkar arc with the defeat of Aizen. Then they had that really, you know, weird Fullbring arc that really killed a lot of people's feelings for the show. And when they had the Thousand Blood War arc, it had a really lot of buzz, especially in the West, but in Japan, it never got that buzz back. And the Bleach ending kind of hit downhill once the Ichigo. Everyone's waiting for Ichigo's Bankai, figuring out what was the power he gained from training with the Royal Guards. And they literally had you watch one shot his Bankai, and we never saw that Bankai at full power again. And that's when we really felt the rushing of Bleach there. Yuha got to a power that literally made no sense if you beat him, right? Got to that point. A lot of characters like Uehara, I think, like Uehara, one of my favorite characters. Thank you for someone who corrected me in the comment section down below because I just couldn't remember his name. Yodorichi, Uehara, Nin, I think it's like Nell, Nell and Grimjow. They didn't really get an ending at all. They just left in interpretation, and you got to go like to a book to find out where they died, or I mean how they survived that fight. So that ending like never really got a real payoff in the manga. Ichigo's way of beating Yuha with Uryu shooting an arrow at Yuha, even though Yuha can see the future and crush it, but yet Uryu is still able to hit him with an ability that turns off his almighty power, which was just dumb. And Aizen, the king of hacks, is still able to survive some stuff. Like overall, it just you could tell that it was being rushed. And like you had a cool ending, like, you know, with all like, you know, your pairings ending up together. You had actually even Rengoku, you didn't even know what happened to her, and a lot of people. Like I'm really hoping with the anime they're able to add more scenes that fill out the ending, because I'm not gonna lie, Bleach did not end the most perfect way in my opinion. They had great endings with Rukia, Ichigo, those type of characters, but a lot of fan favorites, like I said before, with Grimjow, Uehara, Yodorichi, Nell, you literally had to read the books or some outside source to figure out what happened to them. And I feel like that's just really bad that I got to do that. Now, the final one I want to talk about, because again, this is all off the dome. I'm not really doing the best research to this, so that's why I'm not remembering people's names like that. It's the new Star Wars trilogy. Now, I like Force Awakens, and I've grown to kind of like The Last Jedi, and I don't hate, and I don't hate The Last Jedi, and I like, what's the latest one? I forgot the latest one's name already. That's sad. I can't remember. In the fact that they keep retconning stuff to make the latest movie make sense is terrible, man. Like, it's already hard enough that The Last Jedi already broke the fan base a lot, you know what I mean? And then the latest movie, a lot of people say it's a ripoff of Endgame. Like, they try to do a lot of Marvel stuff. It's too much impact in the movie where they kind of retcon The Last Jedi. And it's also a continuation to Force Awakens. And that they keep making up shit to justify things like, oh no, Darth Sidious is actually a clone, and he actually, Rey is the daughter of a Sidious clone. And in actuality, Rey and Ben, they don't really like each other. It was just a moment kiss, even though they've been hinting at it forever. And you're gonna piss off the Reylos when they're the biggest fans of this new trilogy. You know what I mean? It's just, it's dumb. It's dumb. It's rushed. It's overbloated. Like, I don't hate the new Star Wars trilogy. I'm not one of those people. But I can admit that they didn't know what they was doing, and it was rushed to hell. And it really sucks because they had a lot of great moments in here. I don't hate Rey. I don't hate Ben. I don't hate this new Skywalker, even though I wish this Skywalker did some OP stuff like the old Lord Luke Skywalker did. But I don't hate it. But yeah, a lot of bad decision making. So let's talk about it. We talked about Toriko, we talked about Game of Thrones, Samurai Jack, Akame got killed, Bleach, and Star Wars. Let me know any more series you have in the comment section down below you want me to talk about in terms of rush endings. I could have brought up Dragon Ball GT, but like I feel like they handled the Shadow Dragon arc pretty well, at least in my opinion. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys are staying safe. I'm trying to record, get my mind off stuff, enjoy the moments while we can, man. So yeah, SonTj, peace. Love you all.